you guys doing today? Welcome to a Mike Vids video production. Today we're going to talk a little bit about the Seahawks versus the fucking LA Rams. Wow, I'm lost. What the fuck? Confused. Can't express my emotions. I don't know. What's wrong? The season is over! The season is over! Nah. I just took a shower, guys, so my hair's a little wet. That's a total lie. The season is not over. It was a good game. Psych. Psych. It was a very interesting game is what I'll call it for you guys. It was upsetting. It was very upsetting. I felt like it was a very good game. I felt like we could have came in there and dominated it. The game ended with 3-9. St. Louis Rams took it. 0 touchdowns in the game. There were some key mistakes though inside this game, and I would say that there's 3 key mistakes inside this game. 3 key mistakes. Let's get into them. Let's get into the mistakes right here, right now. Let's talk about it. Let's just talk about it, guys. Let's do it. Oh God, I can't. I just can't. No, Alrighty, guys. So one of the first mistakes. Some of the key factors, excuse me, I'm not even going to say mistakes because I think it was more just key factors in the game that we just didn't play to our potential. The first thing was execution and penalties, you know what I mean? They go hand in hand in my opinion, that's why I said them both together. Could have played a lot better, we could have had much better execution. A lot of our penalties were based off of execution. Some of the big plays in the sense of the Jermaine Kearse play, where he did the push off, things that you didn't need to do. Things that just didn't need to happen in order to catch the ball. Same thing with Bennett, his offsides play when it was 3rd and 9 or whatever, and they got that offsides play. That was ridiculous. Same thing with Marsh, I think he did a little too much in the sense of that sack tackle on 3rd down. That got him the first fucking down. It was just silly little mistakes. It was a lot of execution, a lot of stupid stuff. I'm frustrated. That has been a problem with the Seahawks for the past 4 years. Ever since Pete Carroll. I don't know if it's his discipline or where he goes with that route. Obviously not, because it's been 4 years with the shitty fucking execution. One of the most penalized teams in the NFL. You kidding me, guys? Seriously, one of the most penalized teams in the NFL is the Seahawks. And we've been dominant for the past 4 years, but that should show you that there's something going wrong here. Michael Bennett's offsides play in the Super Bowl fucked us. Key mistakes that really just make us lose games. I don't know if it's discipline, but execution really needs to step up because that is what's going to cause penalties. I'm frustrated. I don't get it. I'm confused. Lack of execution causes penalties. We need to do better on execution. We don't have a really good offensive line. Our offensive line was not great at all. There's a few things where I feel like Russell Wilson did have some time to throw some passes, things like that. That's been a problem with us as well, was, wide receiver routes in the sense of making sure that they're shorter routes so you can pass it. I'm going on a tangent now. Don't worry about what I just said. The offensive line just did not create blocking lanes at all. It was crap. We did not have any running game, in my personal opinion, was because of our offensive line. We had 0 passing game because of our offensive line. Blocking was horrific. Our offensive line just could not step up the game. There was something wrong there. Well, I know, they're young, they're new, I get that. Our rushing was horrific because of that. They have a really good defense. Front 7 is spectacular. Dominating the trenches. I said it in my prediction video that I didn't post. I'm pretty upset I didn't post that. That this game is going to be determined on what happens in the trenches and what goes down there. And we got the shit kicked out of us in the trenches because our offensive line just wasn't up to par with what the Rams had. That was a key factor, was our offensive line. I'm concerned. I don't know how to fix that one. I think that's going to have to do with draft pick. And learning today that we got fined $400,000 and losing a 5th round draft pick. That's going to sort of fuck us, especially since we need offensive linemen and we need to really scout some really good offensive line. I think that's the only way. So this year we're sort of stuck in the position that we are in the sense of offensive line. Unless we could trade, I doubt that though. It's a little hard, especially offensive linemen. If we could trade, that's awesome. But I doubt it. This is hard for me, guys, man. This is hard. Talking about the mistakes, it's not good. It just wasn't a good game at all, guys.
Even if they don't know.
Russell Wilson's lack of mobility. Because he couldn't run, because he couldn't walk around with the ball like he usually does, because he couldn't do the little spin out moves that we're used to seeing out of Russell Wilson, our loss to the LA Rams 3-9, I think Russell Wilson's lack of mobility was a huge key factor in that situation. He had a high sprained ankle that really restricted his movement, I think. I don't know if he should have came back or not. he just didn't perform what I think we're used to seeing from him, so I don't know exactly what happened there. I think it was just his lack of mobility. He couldn't do the little swing-aways when he's throwing the ball, you know what I mean? His little evade things that he does. Those spins, they're amazing. It's one of the biggest things about Russell Wilson that defensive people hate. He was being on the safe side, didn't want to get hit, wanting to make sure that he could, you know, still be healthy for the next games. But I don't know if I don't know if that was the right choice or not. Maybe he should have sat out in order for us to get him next week at full health, because we're going to need it. If we lose 2 or 3 games in a row, that's going to be really bad for our momentum here, and it's just something we can't have. In my opinion, in order for us to win these games, we need Russell Wilson to have his mobility to the max. He needs to be the most mobile, best quarterback ever in order for us to, you know, have aspirations of going to the Super Bowl or even winning the fucking, you know, NFC Championship again. We need to have him at his high mobility level. I'm hoping that he'll come back next week with you know, more agility, more mobility out of his movement. We'll see. I think it's just time's going to tell that one. Just a few weeks, and I think he's going to be back up to where he's usually is. That sucked, but I had to get it off my chest. I want to tell you guys a little bit about what happened with the Seahawks. You know, the 3 things I think that were the biggest key factors in this game, and I said them in my prediction video I didn't post, and I'm pissed, fucking pissed about. Fuck, should have posted that video. The 3 key factors that made us lose this game was execution and penalties. In my opinion, they go hand in hand. We fucked up big time in that situation. Second thing was offensive line. I think that we need some real work on offensive line. I'm concerned we're not going to be able to fix it this year. But I think in the future that really needs to be something that we need to do better. If you look at the Denver Super Bowl, man, we had a really solid offensive line in that year. We had a lot of penalties that year, but man, we had a solid offensive line. Big thing for us was, you know, offensive line just was not up to the caliber that we need them to be. Which made it so we couldn't execute any touchdowns at all. The fuck? I have Russell Wilson on my fantasy team too, guys. I lost this week, obviously. Third thing was Russell Wilson's lack of mobility. Oh my gosh. He could not evade tackles, he could not evade sacks. He just was not the runner and mobile quarterback, dual threat quarterback that we're used to seeing out there on the field, guys. We're not used to seeing him sitting in the fucking pocket getting sacked. Alright? Just not. We needed his mobility because of their front 7. Spectacular. I know I just talked a lot about our weaknesses and the bad things about the Seahawks. Trust me, I love the Seahawks. I'm a season ticket holder. This is my home. This is my life. I'm a big fan. It really sucked to see a game like that go down. It just wasn't good. Didn't feel good. I know a lot of the 12s out there didn't feel good about it. So I just wanted to get this video off my chest. Hopefully you guys will take this video as it is. I want to say thank you guys for watching the video. Subscribe if you guys want to see more videos from me. Thank you guys so much. Hit a thumbs up if you guys like the Seahawks video that I just posted right here that you're watching right now. Hit the thumbs up. That'd be super cool of you, because you're cool. This week sucks, and I'm sorry to make this video. It's not fun. Not a fun video at all for me. But guess what, guys? There's always next week. Peace.